All right, we are back with episode 28 of the Feel for the Game College Football Podcast. It has been officially 20 college footballless days. I don't feel so great, I'm not going to lie. I might be getting sick. It just doesn't feel right. I feel like not having games on Saturday just is so strange to me right now. I don't know how you feel about that.
Yeah, this is kind of just a weird, dead period in sports. It's February, the beginning of February, late January is always just kind of just meh.
Yeah, I was talking to somebody the other day about this. Like, college baseball's right around the corner. We're pretty pumped about that, but the Super Bowl just doesn't feel like all that this year. I'm just not super pumped for it. We're actually going to watch it after this podcast. We're recording on a Sunday afternoon of the Super Bowl, so Super Bowl Sunday, and we're planning on watching it here at our studio. But I'm just not that excited about it. Like we should have every reason to be pumped about it.
Huh.
You got Sam Darnold, comeback of the century player, playing in the Super Bowl, which is a cool story. Drake May's first Super Bowl newcomer, rematch Seahawks Patriots. Like, what can you not ask for? But I'm just not. I'm not really excited about it. So I miss college football already. It's been 20 days, but we're here to talk about more college football. So we've got a new bit of content we're going to try to do today since it's the end of the season and we're into the off season. We've got something new that we want to try. We're going to rank all of the games that we went to this year together because we went to some games solo. Each of us did this year, but we went to 12 destinations across the Southeast with each other this year to watch football games. We're going to rank them 12 to 1, and we're going to rank them out of 10 on a metric that we created. It's pretty simple. We're going to do crowd noise, that's out of 4. Quality of game is out of 3. And then town, food, and attractions, which just encompasses the whole area and what we did when we were there. That's out of 3 as well, adding up to a total of 10 out of 10, or 0 out of 10 if you don't get any points. We didn't have anybody that got 0 points, but we had one that was pretty low. We'll start
I
with
thought
number
we did
12.
rank somebody or give somebody a zero.
Somebody got a 0 in a certain metric, but we didn't give anybody a total of 0.
Yeah.
That would be unbelievably awful. But we'll start with number 12, Mercer versus UC Davis in Montgomery. This got a 3 out of 10 total score, and I had fun at this game. There were some different things that happened here, but as far as crowd noise is concerned, we gave it a 1 out of 4. Uh, the capacity of the fans was just kind of
And
underwhelming.
it's FCS game and it's a neutral site, so just double whammy with that one coming.
Yeah, so we weren't expecting it to be insane. It was week 0, FCS kickoff. We got what we got. Nothing super interesting about the location, the Crampton Bowl in Montgomery, but it wasn't horrible. So I think it gets a point for that. Quality of the game, we gave it a 2 out of 3. The game did not finish. For those of you who have not seen that episode that we talked about it, this game is the only game in NCAA history that did not finish, that made it to the fourth quarter.
I believe so.
Insane, and we got to go. So that in and of itself should get some points there. That's the only reason it didn't get a 3 out of 3 is because it didn't finish.
I mean, it was shaping up to be a great finish.
We had a blocked
And just
field
rogue
goal,
thunderstorm out of nowhere.
and then we had a safety. I mean, the game was turning around. It was like Mercer
It was
was
a
dead in the
wasn't
water.
it, wasn't there a blocked punt to a safety?
Maybe that's what it was.
It was
It
a
was a
blocked
blocked
punt.
field goal and then a blocked punt
Yeah.
safety. Crazy. 2 block kicks and a safety in like 1 quarter almost. So I had fun at that game, but I wish it had finished. I really wanted to see who was going to win that game, considering how the trend of the game was going. Town food and attractions, I'm going to be completely honest. It was a ghost town, to say the least. Like, we walked the streets of
There
Montgomery
was nobody anywhere.
in the city.
Saturday at 3. It was
Everything was closed.
the weirdest thing ever.
So strange. Obviously, this isn't a home game for either team, so there's no college campus atmosphere. I think a 0 out of 3 is about all we can do
And then those nachos we got at that place were trash.
So bad.
It was so
I
terrible.
remember the chain location we went to, but I've never seen it before, and we tried it. It was
I
awful.
think it was Dreamland,
I've
which
never
is
been
good, but what we got was not.
Those nachos were trash, man. It was not good. But yeah, overall, this gets a 3 out of 10. Wasn't my favorite spot, but I mean, if they had another game there, maybe it was a little bit more quality game. Consider it.
And if there was no rain in the forecast.
Yeah, and the game actually
Uh,
finished. Moving on to number 11, we had Southern Miss versus Mississippi State in Hattiesburg. This game got a 4.5 out of 10 total score from us. We'll get into the crowd noise. And when I say crowd noise, it's kind of like you can separate the two because the crowd can be really big and the noise could be kind of minimal. So we kind of combine them, kind of don't, depends on the game. But this one got a 2 out of 4. It was interesting for like the first quarter and a half to the first half of the game. And Southern Miss fans were getting into it. By the late third quarter, the DJ had to come onto the field and try to hype up the fans.
Awful.
Not into that. It was not really that good. It was super cheesy. Didn't love it. Quality of game, that kind of given what we just said, was a 1.5 out of 3. It was fun for a little bit, but
I
the
feel like
second
the
half
first
was
half.
left to be desired for sure.
Yeah.
And then as far as town food and attractions go, I'm sorry to my friends in Hattiesburg. Hattiesburg is not the most exciting place in the world, unfortunately. It's cool stuff now. They're trying. They're doing better, but I'm pretty sure we only gave a 1 out of 3 on this instead of a 0 because the place we went to for food was pretty good. I forgot what the name of it was. It was some biscuit place right behind
Might have been like
Ed's.
Maple Street Biscuit or something.
If you remember that, that's insane.
Something like that.
That was literally in September. I don't know how you remember that. That's right. But I had a really good like jalapeno fried chicken pimento cheese biscuit. It was gas, like super good. Made me feel like so awful. We drove to Atlanta immediately after this. So the only picture we actually had from this game.
Oh, I forgot to change the picture.
No, you're good.
Yeah.
We actually have one. That's cool.
No, I took this from ESPN.
I was gonna say,
None
that's
of
what
us had
ESPN.
pictures from this game for some reason.
Did you put the other picture on here?
Yeah, I started with the Mercer UC Davis one.
Yeah, I mean like the one where we were driving to Atlanta and we are watching the FSU Bama game.
No, I didn't put that.
Okay, well, I thought that was going to be funny, but there was a picture we took of one of the or Alabama fans during the FSU game flipping off the camera. It went viral, but we watched it happen live, and like I took a picture, I would post it on our story. It was super funny, but we were considering throwing that up there. It was super hilarious. We didn't even have a picture for this game. It was so kind of just not memorable. So yeah. It wasn't horrible as far as like the actual stadium, just the environment in there. Like the seating was super cramped. It took us forever to get in. We talked about that in the episode that we covered this
It
game.
was legitimately like 30 minutes to get in. Missed the first touchdown.
Yeah, the Traore touchdown, we completely missed that. One of the only big plays of the whole game, so that sucked. But it was all right. I'm glad I got to go to Hattiesburg, though. I have friends there, so it's fun for me to go there sometimes. At number 10, we've got Ole Miss versus Tulane. This is the regular season matchup. We went to both, by the way, which we'll get to. We gave this a 5 out of 10. Crowd noise, 2 out of 4. It was a blowout game after the first quarter, which was pretty hype, but it just was not as anticipated. We thought this could have been a really interesting game.
Yeah, I mean, I legitimately thought it would be close because I mean, at this point in the season, we didn't really know much about either team. I had almost gone like 8-4 preseason.
Yeah,
and a team like that against Tulane, who had won like 11 games, like you would expect that to be like kind of close, but
yeah, given our last matchup when we played Tulane in New Orleans, it was a pretty good game. We just stat padded like the last 3 minutes, but this was just another blowout game, just like the one in the playoffs. But I think that the distinction here is that the crowd was into it early. I feel like Ole Miss fans showed up pretty good for this game. But after the first half, it was just like it was 23-3, I think, and nobody was getting excited for this game because we knew we were going to win. Quality of the game, this is a 1 out of 3, given what we just talked about. And it was a day game, which was pretty obvious.
And it was like 91 degrees.
Yeah, it was hot as crap. It was still fun though. I had a good time at this game as an Ole Miss fan. I know you didn't love this game because you were kind of hoping Tulane was going to do.
Yeah, I had some change on the Green Wave.
Yeah,
not delivered.
Unfortunately for you, that probably didn't end up being the best bet we've made this year. Town food and attractions. We gave this a 2 out of 3. I can't remember because we've been to Oxford for multiple games this year. We try to be relatively consistent on these if we've been there multiple times. I think just given the fact that did we not eat there or something?
Well, this one kind of factors in like pregame stuff too.
Yeah.
Like general like feel around the stadium too, right?
This just wasn't a huge game at the end of the day, so I don't think that people were really, really excited about this one as much as they could have been.
Oxford has boosted to 2 out of 3 by default, really.
Yeah, and every time we've eaten there, we've had good food. Like even at the chain places like First Watch, like it's really good. So overall, 2 out of 3 for that. The total was 5 out of 10 score for that game.
So we went to that barbecue place before this, didn't we?
Oh, dude, yeah. So
yeah,
we took Silas to this game. I forgot about that. Yeah, we went to used to be a Lamar Yard, but they changed the name. I forget what it was now, but the barbecue place we went to was super good. I really enjoyed that. It was pretty expensive though, but we got one. I don't even think I finished mine. Number 9, we got Mississippi State versus Georgia. This was in Starkville. We gave this a total score of 5.5 out of 10. I think if this game ended up being close, it would be in the top 3.
Yeah.
But it was unfortunately a absolute blowout. of Mississippi State by Georgia. Crowd noise, we gave it a 2 out of 4. It was very loud early. Like every Mississippi State game will always be unless they're 1-11, you know. But it was loud. The fans were into it. Ended up being a blowout, and the fans just kind of gave up. So I don't expect much different in those scenarios. Quality of game, 1.5 out of 3, because State was leading in this game at one point.
It was like 7-0 for 2 minutes, maybe.
Yeah, so y'all went down. Y'all scored. Y'all made it interesting. The fans got into it. I mean, the scene around the game was pretty fun. I was pretty excited about it and thought that State could have a chance. Just didn't really work out. As far as town food and attractions, we gave this a 2 out of 3. We ate. We didn't even eat at this game, did we?
No, because it was 11 o'clock.
Yeah.
Chick-fil-A on the way out of town.
Yeah, so we didn't eat local here, so yell at us all you want. Sorry, it just didn't work out that way for the 11 o'clock kick. Chick-fil-A was still banging, though. I loved Starkville for this game. Barstool was there. SEC Nation was there. It was just insanely electric. I don't know what y'all call like the square area on campus outside of the stadium where everybody convenes for stuff like that, like where the tailgate is. But that's where SEC Nation was. You couldn't get within.
It's escaping my mind right now. That's actually so sad.
You can't get
I
within
can't think of what that's
800 yards of the set without getting through a mosh pit. It was unreal. I've never seen anything like it. At least the game that I've been to physically, but it was super cool. Barstool was pretty good. Shout out to Brandon Walker for hyping this game up for it to be a complete blowout, but he made it fun. So
what happens anytime you hype something up?
yeah, we gave this a 2.5 out of 3 on town food and attractions, just because we didn't eat there. But it was pretty fun. I had a really good time. 5.5 out of 10 overall, though. Wasn't the best game we went to in Starkville this year. Following up number 8 as another game we were at Mississippi State for. This is the Egg Bowl. It's Ole Miss taking on Mississippi State in Starkville. We gave this a 6.5 out of 10. As far as crowd noise goes, it was really freaking loud early in this game. Like State fans were pumped because there was kind of this feeling that Mississippi State could take advantage of where Ole Miss was as a team. There was all the stigma around Kiffin leaving, which he ended up leaving, like we all know. And State fans were like, we need to take advantage of this. We got to win this game. This will be the greatest Egg Bowl upset of all time. And it started off pretty interesting. I think Ole Miss walked down the field, but State kept answering and keeping it close. And second half rolls around, different story. Unfortunately for Mississippi State once again, but crowd noise, I'd give it a 3 out of 4 just for how good it was early. It was really good. Quality of the game, like I said, another blowout, sort of, kind of. I wouldn't call it a blowout.
It was competitive for 2.5 quarters.
It was competitive for long
and
enough.
then it never really got like super far away.
Yeah, I would say that just because it wasn't a close game in the third quarter, that you could quantify this as not necessarily a blowout, but we all knew who was going to win. So, quality of game only gets 1 out of 5 or 1.5 out of 3. Town food and attractions, we still gave this a 2 out of 3. I don't think we ate for this game either. Oh wait, no, we went to the coffee place and we sat in line for like a year. You didn't get your food until you had to tell them like 5 times that you didn't get your food.
No, that was the Egg Bowl. I think that was Georgia.
That was Georgia? Are you sure? Because one of the games we were late getting in.
We were late at the Egg Bowl.
I think it was
because the whole parking situation was a nightmare.
Oh yeah. Well, either way, neither of these games were really close, really exciting in the end, and we didn't have really good food experiences necessarily. So that's why we don't have the same.
That's kind of by choice, though.
We're gonna have another rating for Starks with the top with one of our more peak experiences. But overall, this one got a 6.5 out of 10. It was the Egg Bowl. I mean, we're wearing the merch. We're gonna have a good time regardless. Like it was our teams. It was super fun. Number 7, South Carolina versus Virginia Tech in Atlanta. This one also scored a 6.5 out of 10 for us. Crowd noise, I gave this a 3 out of 4. I think you agreed with me pretty much on that. It could have, if it was max capacity in that stadium in Atlanta, Mercedes-Benz, it would have been so loud.
If it had been at either team's home stadium, it would have been a 4 out of 4.
I would agree. 100%. The fans showed up for this game given proximity of the location. I had fun at the game. The fourth quarter was kind of dragged. Virginia Tech's offense
until the what's-his-face touchdown from like 70 yards.
It was Jacobs, Vandrevius Jacobs.
No.
He had Swain. What's his name?
No, Nick Harbor had a long touchdown.
Oh yeah, I was thinking of the punt return.
I forgot there was a punt return. Yeah.
Whoever that guy is.
It was Swain at the punt return.
Yeah, I forget what his first name is, but
Macari.
Macari Swain. Yeah. I think we had a whole thing about that when we did the video the first time for that game. That I just couldn't figure out who that was. But Anyway, that game was really good. Those plays were really big, but Virginia Tech just never responded. They just kind of laid dead in the water and tried to keep playing defense. So
They just ran the ball just so much. It was like 3 yards a pop. It was so awful to watch.
yeah, and I had a parlay cooked up on that, and I was so close to hitting it. Just nobody wanted to make that one final
None
play.
of us hit
Make
any
it
of our
hit.
parlays this year.
Oh, so tragic. But
Terrible.
I have a better one that was a way better story that we're going to save for the end. But this game overall, I think we gave 2 out of 3 for town food and attractions. We could only get into one place to eat. It was close within like a mile walking distance of the stadium, and it was like this weird like little tuck in on like near an alley, and the atmosphere was nobody there. The food was pretty good. I think it was a new restaurant maybe. We both got chicken and waffles, but they were like strawberry waffles.
Fruit were like fruit infused. It was interesting.
So like it didn't. It's not that it tasted bad. It's just that it was very different. Like it's not the salty seasoned chicken with the buttery, syrupy, sugary waffle. It was like a
Like
really
kind of caught you off guard.
yeah, it was like tart and like kind of like whoa,
It
like
was like eating sweet tarts in a waffle.
yeah. And then the chicken was like it almost tasted like it was breaded and not fried. It was like baked with like no seasoning. It was weird. Like bad. Like it was pretty good. I didn't feel so great afterwards. But I mean, other than that, it was really cool getting to go to Atlanta. We took a train. I hadn't been on a train since I was a little kid. So whether you like that or not, it was kind of fun at times.
Yep.
So we only gave it a 2 out of 3 on town food and attractions. Overall, 6.5 out of 10. It was fun. I'd go back, but not my ideal place for game day. Number 6, we had Ole Miss taking on Tulane in the first round of college football playoffs for the Oxford hosted game. We gave this a 7 out of 10. So obviously this game had already been played, and we had actually already been to that game too. But we gave this one a different rating. Crowd noise was a little bit more present in this one, since we
Yeah.
knew that it was a playoff game, must win, like biggest game of Ole Miss's history up to that point. Even though the opponent wasn't really the biggest, the crowd showed out. It was really fun, and I had a blast at this one. It was really the same game though, if we're being honest, but it kind of bled into a night game, which is why I think made it really fun. Quality of the game, we gave this a 1 out of 3.
It was just a carbon copy of the first time around.
Yeah, so we gave it the same rating there. Town food and attractions, we gave Oxford a 3 out of 3 on this one. Um, I couldn't have drawn it up better as far as the atmosphere was. It was super awesome.
It was good.
Our fans really showed out. Tailgating was at the max. It was just really fun. We put out all the stops for like fireworks, drone shows, lights, all that stuff. It was really cool. So had a blast at that one. Didn't really have much else to say about that one, just given that we basically already been the carbon copy of that game at that point.
It was the same game with just college football playoffs left on it.
Yeah, I think that's really where it falls in our rankings for that reason. Moving on to number 5, we have Ole Miss versus Arkansas also in Oxford. You can see a comment trend here. This one got an 8.5 out of 10. And
Is this our fifth ranked game?
mhm, I had this one as an 8.5, I think, solely because this was Trinidad's first game. That's what made all of these things. There were other factors, but Trinidad's first game as a starter after Kentucky, and he just lit it up. Looked unstoppable. They couldn't do anything to stop Trinidad. But we didn't stop Arkansas either. Like, could not stop Taylor Green and Omega Blake or Mike
You
Washington.
thought the game was over until they fumbled.
I mean, I thought they were just going to walk down the field and score on us, and the game was over. And Landon was like, dude, it's not over till it's over. Like, just wait.
We were coming off Arizona State the week before.
Yeah, and we're about to get to that game. That was unreal. But Landon was just telling me, he's like, dude, just hang in there. Like, something might happen. You never know what's going to happen. TJ Dollar forces a fumble almost in the red zone. We get the ball back and we kneel it out. Crazy. Can't believe that's how that game ended. If we lose that game, there's a very real conversation where Ole Miss never made the playoffs.
Yeah, probably.
There's tons of games like that this year, so won't focus on that too much. Quality of the game, we gave this a 3 out of 3. I didn't even get the crowd noise. Sorry, we get a 2.5 out of 4 on the crowd noise. I think because Arkansas was already down for the count.
Bro, this game was an 8.5. There's no way it could have been a 2 out of 4.
2.5 out. Okay. So I think we gave everything else a perfect score except for the crowd noise. And I say that Arkansas only lost one game, I think. So they weren't like bad to the perception of everybody
They
else.
were 2-0 at that point, and then y'all started the 10-game
Maybe we were 2-0. I don't know.
They played like Arkansas State and then Central Arkansas before that or something.
Yeah, so we really didn't know what to expect, And I think that Ole Miss fans just kind of overlooked this one. So it's one of those games where, Lincoln was always complaining about how the crowd just didn't get into it enough. Student section left early. This game just didn't have the feel of one of those games where like people were locked in the whole time. Now, at the end of the game, it was still like we didn't know who was going to win, so everybody stayed. But it just the energy wasn't the same.
Well, it's because it's a game you expect to win.
Yeah, but as Ole Miss fans, we never should expect to win any SEC game at any point. Like even in the Egg Bowl when we were freaking 10-1, I was like, it's the Egg Bowl. I don't care how bad Mississippi State could be. This could be the 1-11 team from last year. It doesn't matter. Or 2-10 team. So that's just life as an Ole Miss fan. But crowd noise wasn't great. Quality of the game we gave 3 out of 3. One possession masterclass. Trinidad Channels played awesome. Town food and attractions, we gave this a 3 out of 3. We ate at First Watch this trip, I'm pretty sure, and I really like First Watch. It's go-to breakfast
So
spot.
we went to First Watch 3 times this year because we went to First Watch in
Auburn.
Montgomery, or coming back from Auburn.
We
yeah.
did, yeah. So we are First Watch connoisseurs at this point. I love it. I think that the best thing on the menu is the chorizo tacos. They're absolutely delicious, and they have like seasonal donut holes. They're usually pretty good.
Those are always
The
good.
last time we were there, the lady gave us an entire tray of them for free just because she liked us, which was super cool. It was like the cheesecake strawberry ones, and they were amazing. But yeah, First Watch is awesome. Anyway, tangent. We gave it a 3 out of 3 on town food and attractions. Overall, 8.5 out of 10. I had a great time with this
It
game.
was a great game.
Really good intro to SEC play. Number 4, we had Auburn taking on Missouri. This is our first 9 out of 10 game. This was fun. So the factors that played into this for me would have to be that it was the peak Auburn experience. There really
It was
was
the
just
complete
everything.
Hugh Freeze experience.
Oh yeah, I mean you could not draw up what it's like to be an Auburn fan any better than what it was like attending this game. So much fun. We sat in the thick of all these Auburn fans that just were having the worst time. They were having a terrible.
It was just
The whole game, like they were lulled to sleep, like they were not paying attention. They were on their phones, and out of nowhere, Jeremiah Cobb rips off a 45-yard run. They're all like,
and then they do nothing for another quarter.
yeah, they don't do nothing. They start Jackson Arnold throws a dumb interception or something, and the fans just get all upset. And they
He had no interceptions in the season coming into that game.
Crazy.
How
Possible that is. I can't believe that.
Yeah, because he didn't throw the ball.
Yeah, the guy was like 15 attempts a game, so that stat is such an outlier. But he did take care of the ball somewhat. But the game itself was really, really good. Like the crowd noise, the fans showed out despite the fact that they didn't stay in the game mentally. They showed out early. I gave it a 3.5 out of 5 or 3.5 out of 4 total score for crowd noise. Quality of game though was 3 out of 3. Perfect score on that. I mean, double overtime. Missouri walks into Auburn and basically says, "Bye, Hugh Freeze. It's time to get out of here." Like that was really awesome.
Yeah.
Not for Hugh Freeze, obviously. Never want to prey on anybody's downfall like that, but it was pretty cool seeing Eli Drinkowitz basically send Hugh Freeze packing. So peak Auburn experience, town food and attractions. We ate at Guthrie's. I know. We could have eaten anywhere. We ate at Guthrie's because it was
Guthrie
convenient,
is crap.
but it was good. It was really good, and it was cheap. And so we ended up spending $25 at a local dive and get stuck there and miss kickoff. So definitely enjoyed the Guthrie's, but I think that's why we had to dox it half point because town was great.
And the parking situation.
Oh yeah, we parked like in the back of campus by some weird church and like super small, weird, sketchy spot. Had to Venmo them to park there, and it was a long walk, really long walk. Especially when it was dark, it was really sketchy. But it wasn't horrible outside of the parking and the fact that we didn't get to eat something local. I told Landon multiple times I liked Auburn like as a town and a college campus more than I've liked any place really all season.
Yeah, it was really cool.
The people were pretty chill. The place itself was really nice. It was fun to be there. It felt like a real SEC campus.
Yeah.
Not saying that State or Ole Miss don't have that, but we don't go to a lot of different campuses that are within reach for us. So this one was really fun. Moving on, we got number 3, Vanderbilt versus Missouri. This was in Nashville for College Game Day. This was one of my favorites, hands down. If we didn't have the next 2 above this, this would be hands down far and above, like not even close enough.
Yeah.
Mainly because this was Vanderbilt's biggest game in program history, and we got to be there for it. Super cool. We met some really cool people at this game. I had a really great time. The food, we ate at like a local like Mexican / like American cuisine place. There was no one there in the middle of Nashville.
We got there right at opening.
I guess
I
we
think.
did.
And I think it opened early. It opened like 10 o'clock.
Yeah, we were in there like 10:45. I got like some giant breakfast burrito thing, I think, and it was so good. I loved it. Our friend Silas once again went with us on this trip. I think he could vouch for us, and he really enjoyed that too. Our hotel situation was really good. It was comfortable. It was nice. It was clean. It was close by. We saved some money probably on that. We got tickets really cheap too. It was a huge move we made. We were leaving the Auburn game.
We pulled over on the interstate and bought them
Yeah,
direct from Vanderbilt, and then I think what did we buy 'em for, like $80 maybe?
$80 a piece.
And
If
then
you're a
their
Vanderbilt fan,
value went to like 350.
if you're a Vanderbilt fan, knowing that you were buying tickets for $300 at this game, you don't want to hear that we bought it for $80 and we're not even Vanderbilt or Missouri fans. So anyway, we could have totally scalped those and resold them and made like $400 or more, but
Yeah.
we're not bad people, so we didn't do that. But it was super fun. So we gave it a 3 out of 3 on town food and attractions. Nashville was elite, super fun. We were there really early, got to experience it from morning all the way to evening. Super fun. Game day was pretty good. We didn't have the best spot for game day though. We were stuck on like a
Yeah,
hill
and
and
it's
a
always
marsh
gonna
pit.
be tough to get a good spot for game day.
So that didn't make the game day experience as good as it could have been. But overall, we got to do it all. And it was a very travelable area.
And then the line at the gift shop was horrible.
Oh, that was bad.
Uh,
I wanted a Vanderbilt hoodie really bad. Not gonna lie.
yeah, we couldn't buy any merchandise because the line was like an hour long.
I saw the line and I said no thanks. Some other time, another season. We got to see the end of the
And
match
we
straight.
couldn't get our chairbacks in for some reason too.
Oh, I forgot to talk about that.
Yeah, we had to hide them somewhere because they wouldn't let us bring them in. So
The
weird.
stupidest protocol I've ever seen in my life. The lady that told us we couldn't bring him in was such a jerk. I don't know why they did that. Super dumb. Their seats were really uncomfortable. But yeah, that sucked. We got to see the end of the Natchez Trace, which, if you live in Mississippi, the Natchez Trace runs like straight through central Mississippi. And I didn't even ever think that we'd ever see the end of the Natchez Trace.
Yeah,
We basically got to be there. So that was cool. I love Nashville. I really want to go back. I really hope we get to go back for another game next year.
Y'all open up against Louisville there next year. Maybe we could go to that.
I would definitely entertain that. That could be a really good game too. So definitely gonna have to look at that. But overall, hopefully Vanderbilt ends up being good next year and we can go see them too. So I really enjoyed that. And number 2, we've got Miami taking on Ohio State. This was at Jerry World, Cotton Bowl, whatever you want to call it, in Dallas. So Dallas Cowboys Stadium, so it's a neutral site. We gave it a 9 out of 10 though. Even though it was a neutral site, this easily earned the rating that we gave it. The crowd noise, I gave this a 4 out of 4. You agreed somewhat with me on this. Even for a neutral site game, it doesn't get much better than this. Like both fan bases wanted this so bad, and they're both like notoriously like large, obnoxious fan bases congregating together for a really intense
And you
game.
were right on the divide.
We were in the very center. We stole tickets for this game at the last second. Not actually stole, but we were in the parking lot, and I convinced Landon to wait for tickets. And we thought we were going to get screwed. We thought we were going to get good tickets. We were going to have to pay like 150, $200 to sit in level 3 seating. We got level 2 seating for like $80.
And all the other tickets around us were like double that.
Oh yeah, I'm sure the people around us would have been livid to know what we got those tickets for. So we got a really good spot for this game. One of the plays that sticks out to me that was so cool was the Keontae Scott pick six on the screen, and I don't want to brag on myself. This was really cool.
You telegraphed it.
I telegraphed this play, right? I was being a couch quarterback, and I saw the setup for the screen as they were putting Brandon Ennis in motion, and I looked at Landon and I said, this is a screen pass all day, bubble screen. Keontae Scott was 5 steps ahead of me, and he had to slow himself down just to get ready to jump this.
Yeah.
He jumps it, runs straight to our end zone right at us after he intercepts Julian Sayin and scores. Biggest play of the game was absolutely mental. The Miami fans were losing their minds, like animals. Like they could not control themselves. It was really funny. Their fans are freaking hilarious if you're not the opposing fan base watching the game.
Definitely. Yeah.
I had a blast at that one. So crowd noise 4 out of 4. Quality of game, we gave it a 2.5 out of 3 solely because it was not a 1 possession game. So I think you got to have a 1 possession game or double overtime kind of sort of thing to have a.
Yeah.
So it was still really fun and it was competitive. Town food and attractions, we gave this a 2.5 out of 3. We ate at what's the Mexican place you love so much?
Uncle Julio's.
Uncle Julio's is goated. I highly recommend it. It was super good. I really enjoyed that. We stayed at a local Airbnb right outside of Dallas. It was pretty good. We got it at a decent price. We had fun. We tried some like local breakfast burritos one morning that were really good. I don't remember the place. I'm sorry, but I thought the food was pretty good. The attractions, there really weren't any. We were in Dallas, so you soak it in. It's fun.
No,
It's a big city. We're from a small town, so it's fun to go to places like that. Overall, this gets a 9 out of 10. Number two, really, really good game. Would love to go back to a playoff game in Dallas. Finally, at number one, this game takes the cake. It wasn't even close. Mississippi State, Arizona State, and Starkville. This is a 10 out of 10. It's just not close. This was far above the best game I've probably been to, other than the Ole Miss game against LSU in 23 and the Georgia game 23. Both of those were field stormings. Got to storm the field for those, and I was actually an Ole Miss fan, so obviously those games are more important to me at those games. But Landon, this game I think for you, like it's just not even close. It's untouched.
it is. I mean, it was
Peak
just
experience.
absolute peak.
Yeah,
That's the best way to describe it.
it was so fun. Crowd noise 4 out of 4. State was up in this game 17-0 early, and then they end up blowing the lead. I think didn't the game get tied at 17?
They went up 20-17.
And then you get stopped in the red zone trying to score, have to kick a field goal to go up 20-17. State gets the ball back with like a minute left. And Blake Shapen just launches a bomb to Brennan Thompson. Just such a good play. It was so awesome. They had that one safety or corner blitz that fell that allowed this play to go through, and Blake Shapen to have the time for once, complete a big throw. I cannot describe the feeling of the stadium when that ball was in the air. Cannot describe it. No words can put it into effect what that felt like.
And just the build up like within the fan base before this game was unreal. Like I can't remember the last time we had a build up for a game like this one. It might have been since 2014. Like before a game, like it being hyped up as much as this was.
Yeah, and we hyped it up a lot too because we both picked Mississippi State to win. And at the time, Arizona State was top 15 or top 12.
They were number
11 or
12.
12. So this was a big upset at the time. Arizona State finished like what, 9-4?
I think they were 8-5.
8-5 or 9-4.
All the injury crap though.
They were a good football team. This is a big
And we
win
played
for
them
State.
at full health.
Yeah.
Which they were only I think they only lost at full health one other time maybe this year.
Yeah. So I mean, as far as the quality of game, it was really freaking good. It was really exciting. It was really loud. It was a night game. Mississippi State showed out at home. It just felt like if Mississippi State can improve the unit of their team, there are going to be more games like this over the next couple of years under Jeff Levy. I fully believe that. As an Ole Miss fan, I've seen games like that. Like when we were kind of trying to make that jump from like the 9-win team to the 10 to 11-win team. We would play teams like Kentucky that were overinflated, and we beat them and storm the field. I think there'll be a point in time where Mississippi State will have games like that, and maybe that gets to a point where if Jeff Levy is successful enough, which I think is possible, they may not have to rush the field against overinflated teams anymore.
It was just coming off 2-10. Is why that game was just the way it was.
Not to rush the field though. Like in that situation, the rushing was perfectly.
And then all the trash talk, like all the hotel crap, the week building up like that threw gasoline on the fire too.
Oh, it was
Just
ridiculous.
so funny.
It was ridiculous, and I think Brandon Walker's reaction to that game was so funny.
That was golden.
That was elite. That guy is just such a clown. I think he's so funny. So quality of game 3 out of 3. Crowd noise 4 out of 4. Town food and attractions. This got a 3 out of 3. I know that's a little inconsistent with what we've given Starkville over the course of these rankings, but we had really good food. I forget the name of the place that we sat down at.
Did we go to Harvey's?
I think we went to Harvey's. Pretty sure that's where we went. I had a really good meal there. I enjoyed it a lot. The atmosphere is really cool.
Then we stayed at a cool place because
We
we
stayed
stayed after
somewhere
that game.
really cool. Then we like passed Blake Shapen the next day.
Yeah, he like drove past our place because he lives in the same apartment complex that we stayed at.
That was cool. His truck was ridiculous. But yeah, the town food attractions, Starkville was bustling. Like it was so crazy. Like that was the buildup was unreal, like you were talking about. Definitely deserving of a perfect score. The field storming was the only one we got to go to all year, so it had to be number one, whether the place we were at was great or not. It was a field storming, so peak experience. The photo album I have for this game is extensive. I've got a ton of pictures and videos of this game, and this picture is probably, like it doesn't really describe the intensity and just the insanity that was going on.
Yeah, I have better, but I took them like this, and if you take a picture like that, it's not going to show up on the TV good. So I had to do one that was sideways.
Yeah, and we
While we're
also
kind of
can't
stuck
do a
with this.
video because the audio is gonna overlay really weird, and it would kind of be screwing.
Next year, everything we're going to do like this.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. We'll remember that. But if we can post some of those pictures at some point for extra content, this just doesn't do it justice for how awesome it was. But that's the aftermath when we stormed the field. It was super fun. State fans really deserved that after the previous season. I think that was really awesome for the fan base. That wraps up our 2025 game season experience rankings. We had a blast this year. This was really fun to get to recap everything one last time and reminisce on the 2025 season and everything we got to do. It's a first full year, technically college football year, being a podcast and recording episodes like this. This is our first time entering the off season, so we've got to do a lot of different kind of content creation and find different material that we can talk about because I mean we've exhausted 2025 for what it's worth to this point. So be checking out our TikTok, our Instagram, and our YouTube. We're gonna put out short form content. We're gonna start to change the way we do our off season content for the podcast. So we won't have the normal stuff that we've been doing. But we're starting to make some changes. So check out that stuff and please give us a follow. We're trying to grow a little bit. So not going to grovel too much, but groveling a little bit for followers, that would be awesome.
Yeah, I mean, if you've watched the video this long, this is now going to be, if this is, or when this is a full video, we're at the 36-minute mark right now. If you've made it this long, you got to subscribe if you're not subscribed already.
Yeah, if you're listening this long, it just does not make sense to not subscribe unless you just really don't like us and for some reason you chose to stick around and listen to us.
I guess if we're getting hate watched.
Yeah, maybe we're just dead noise in the background while you're at work or something, but we really would appreciate the follows. We're trying to grow. We're having a lot of fun. It's really cool to see how far we've made it. So any support is appreciated. That's going to wrap up episode 28, a real short one for us, but we'll be back with more content here in the next week or so, and we're excited to keep going for the off season.